Rape Recovery Center in Salt Lake County. Unfortunately, couldn't travel down here, but we're so excited to have them with us virtually. So we will be hearing from Luana Thompson, Shantae Thurston, and Maribel Garcia. Sorry if I mispronounced the name always. Luana has 8 years of experience of leadership in homeless services, including outreach and supportive housing programs that she currently brings to her role as the Salt Lake Advocacy Coordinator with Rape Recovery Center. Her expertise is working with vulnerable populations, combined with a master's in public education with a concentration in local, state, and federal government as well. She also has a bachelor's in criminology and a minor in psychology, which gave her a strong foundation for supporting sexual assault survivors. Shantae has a bachelor's degree in criminal justice from Utah Valley University, was an intern while in college with the Board of Pardons and Parole, and has served as a military police officer in the United States Army. Thank you for your service, Shantae. And has also worked as a victim advocate for Salt Lake Police Department. She's currently the Tooele Victim Advocacy Coordinator with Rape Recovery Center. And lastly, Maribel has been the outreach advocate at Rape Recovery Center for 7 months, but she does have her bachelor's degree, Bachelor's of Art, at the Art Institute of Slick, where she majored in business science. Before working with Rape Recovery, she worked as a logistics coordinator for the International Rescue Committee. That sounds really fascinating. And within her short time at the International Rescue Committee, she successfully housed up to 100 refugees who had fled from Afghanistan to seek a better life. She spent 4 years working with the Big Brothers and Sisters program as an enrollment coordinator. And so all of them have such amazing experience, and they'll be talking about sexual assault survivors and the barriers, unique barriers that they have getting services and the innovative solutions that they have also done at Rape Recovery. So I'm going to turn it over to Maribel, Shantae, and Luana. I'm not sure who's speaking first. And in the room, if you guys are having any trouble hearing the owl, just let me know. Raise your hand and we'll try to correct that. And online, if you guys can hear, but you should be hearing me good. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much for that introduction. I just want to make sure, can everybody hear me okay? Perfect. Well, I'll get started. Thank you all for taking the time to listen to what we have to say about the Rape Recovery Center and its impact. And we have been formally introduced. We'll just do a quick personal introduction. So like they were saying, my name is Maribel. I'm the outreach advocate at the Rape Recovery Center. I haven't been here too long, but I've been loving seeing all the impact that we've been doing, especially in my role as I do traditional tabling, and I get to see the direct impact, which is really awesome. And I will let my 2 other co-hosts just kind of take it away and introduce themselves.
Hey everyone, I'm Luana Thompson, and I am the Salt Lake Advocacy Coordinator for the Rape Recovery Center. And just like Maribel, I haven't really been there for too long, but I am pretty excited with the work that we do and looking forward to giving you all a great presentation.
I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. You might want to change your view to be the slideshow because we can just still see this side. I think for a minute ago. Just, yeah. You'll just want it in the slideshow on the right, or sorry, yeah. Right. There you go.
You can see it okay right there. Okay.
Not yet. Let's see. It's still, if you click, does it change it on your view when you hit slideshow?
Is that okay if I move our photos to the bottom?
Your photos aren't impacting it at all. It's just we can see your presentation screen just shows your slides you're on, but then also all your slides on the left side. So it's just not in slideshow like presenter mode.
Okay, let me see if I can fix that.
So you know what you do to the top.
I'm so sorry. It sounds so echoed.
Sorry, try to step away a little. If you have up on format, or slide next to it, sorry, not one, slide. One more over, sorry. I missed it. There you go. And you can do. Nope, it's not, okay. That's where it's not right. I think we can still manage with the view, it's just that you'll want to make sure you're on the right.
If you just click slideshow, Maribel, up in the
Uh-huh.
corner by share, just click slideshow and it should do it. There you go.
Thank you guys.
Sorry.
So sorry about that. Oh my gosh, so sorry about that. And then I'm hearing so much echo in the actual building. So I hope this is helpful, and I hope this is fix that issue. But everybody could see it in presenter mode. Right.
Okay, and I'm Shantae Thurston, so I haven't introduced myself yet, but I'm the Twilla Advocacy Coordinator. So in 2023, the Rape Recovery Center got funding through the state to have a location out in Twilla. So the location out here is super new, and I'm excited to be out here and provide services to individuals in Twilla County.
Awesome. Okay, so we just want to do a check-in question. Hopefully we have some time for this. We won't take too long, but I know we all are working towards the same goal, and but we all have different roles. And I just wonder if anybody would like to share any major milestones that they've achieved thus far, either in a department role or maybe their own particular role, anything that they might want to shed light on and just share that accomplishment. And you're also able to, if you want to do this activity via Zoom, you can just go ahead and put that in the chat. If you're in the actual room, you can, if there's a way that you can give that information via microphone or something like that, that'd be awesome too.
Sorry, do you want to repeat the question? I'll repeat my question.
Yeah, of course. If there's any milestones, any major or small accomplishments that anybody has achieved in their specific role or department or for their organization that they might want to share.
We're still surviving, I think that's an accomplishment.
That's for sure.
Anyone want to share? Sorry.
And Shantae and Moana, if there's anything in the chat that you guys might want to bring up, feel free to do so.
Yeah, Cassie from FAV, I'm slaughtering that, but they're now offering sexual assault services in the Uinta Basin.
Nice.
I'm here in the in-person area. We do survivor surveys, and one of the things that they were wanting as a service were just different life skills groups. And so we yesterday had our first our financial literacy series. We have a whole position that's economic empowerment, but we're just kind of adding new services really based on the survivors' needs. So.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's amazing.
Okay, that's all we have in the room.
Perfect. All right. Thank you all for checking in and appeasing us with that. So first off, I'll talk a little bit about what our mission is. So it's support and empowering survivors and victims of sexual violence. And we educate the community about the cause, impact, and prevention of sexual violence. Our vision is a community free from sexual violence, and we're going to get into how exactly what our process and strategy is for that. So a little bit about our history. We are going to delve a little bit into this, and the reason for that is because we are just so excited that we are celebrating our 50th year anniversary. Like I said, I haven't been here that long, but the history is just really amazing to me that we started off as grassroots in the 1970s in such a turbulent time. So in 1974, a small group of volunteers and community leaders in Salt Lake City initiated a local community rape awareness program, and they put together the first team of local volunteers for the purpose of going to hospital emergency rooms to support survivors of rape and sexual assault. And that's how our 24-hour mobile response team came about. And then in 75, the Salt Lake Rape Crisis Center was incorporated as a private nonprofit organization. Then in 78, the center had 24-hour crisis line in place, or crisis lines in place. Then we go down to 1980s, the Rape Crisis Center, the Salt Lake District Attorney's Office and local police department, local hospitals, and the Utah State Medical Examiner's Office jointly established the Code R process. And then in 95, the Salt Lake Rape Crisis Center was renamed the Rape Recovery Center, RRC, to symbolize the hope of recovery. In addition, the Rape Recovery Center administered the statewide coalition CAUSE. Sorry about that. Just gonna move a few things here. At the center, in 96, CAUSE became a separate nonprofit entity, later to be renamed the Utah Coalition Against Sexual Assault. In 2000, raperecoverycenter.com was launched, one of the first sexual and domestic violence resource websites in the state. Then in 2022, launched Sexual Assault Services for Incarcerated Survivors program, and that's PRIA. You might have heard about it throughout the community. And we'll delve a little bit more into that because that's a very exciting program that we offer. In 2022, Rape Recovery Center's 24-hour English crisis line was transitioned to a statewide helpline run by the Utah Coalition Against Sexual Assault in order to expand access statewide. In 2024, Rape Recovery Center honors its 50th years of healing and community. So we've got our gala that I will be talking a lot more to the audience about, just because we are inviting everyone, all community partners, to celebrate this achievement with us. In 2022 through 23, we provided 21,681 services to 2,013 survivors of sexual violence. In addition, the Rape Recovery's Community Engagement Department reached approximately 1.6 million individuals with information about healing services and sexual violence prevention education. We now do have the 24-hour sexual assault helpline. And please make note of this if you'd like to take a screenshot of that number there. We have a 24-hour mobile response team. We offer advocacy and crisis services. We do have our support groups, one-to-one counseling, where we prioritize anybody that does not have health insurance. And then our community engagement team, and that's the team that I'm on, where we're consistently spreading the awareness of what it is that we do and trying to reach all demographics. In our services, we offer at no cost. We are a nonprofit organization. We gear towards people 14 and older, primary and secondary survivors. So what a secondary survivor is anybody that is supporting someone who has been through some sort of traumatic experience regarding sexual assault, whether it is a mom supporting a daughter or a daughter supporting a mother, a father supporting his son. We work hard to ensure we provide language access and currently have staff in every program except clinical that speak Spanish and have translation available. We provide direct services to survivors of sexual violence seeking a forensic exam or advocacy only, response to advocacy and crisis intervention in Salt Lake and Tooele County now, and through the Family Justice Center. We work to be mindfully present and work to understand each client's individual's needs and assist them accordingly. Sorry, the arrows aren't working, so I'm just using my mouse, which is skipping. In-house services, a little bit about that. So crisis support and follow-up. So we assist new clients and provide follow-up for mobile response clients. We handle phone calls, pass messages to the right people, and schedule appointments with service providers. A little bit in regards to therapy and what that looks like at the Rape Recovery Center. So we specialize in supporting survivors of sexual trauma. We work to create a healing process, emphasizing empowerment, self-compassion, self-awareness, and mindfulness. And we work with each client to determine a care plan with them. And then this determination includes identifying if short-term or long-term individual therapy is desired, identifying hopes and goals for therapy, and exploring options for group therapy. And we do offer groups that focus on different aspects and stages of healing. This is a great time to make note of this. If you go to our website, there is detailed information, who to contact if you know of anybody that can benefit from any of these workshops. For example, we do have titled here at the bottom, Grupo de Apoyo. That is a support group that is geared to the Latinx community. It is a drop-in group. It's virtual. It gives the opportunity for different schedules, people with different schedules, different working schedules, having to balance all that out to be able to make it to the support group. We have the Gentle Wintering Workshop, offers an easy, slow process way to get involved with support group, connection group. That's where our survivors can connect with others and share healing experiences. And then our community engagement department, the community engagement department works to educate the community about prevention, causes, and impacts of sexual assault, and to increase access to the services provided by the Rape Recovery Center and other agencies. So we're consistently out there in the fields via community events, or anywhere where we could also resource share with other organizations. So if that's something that any organization would like to do, where we get together, resource share, just make sure that we're both supporting each other and raising awareness for our services, because we never know when one client may need something that another organization may offer. And it's just pivotal to have those resources readily available for our people. So our outreach program is dedicated to raising awareness and educating the community about sexual violence, its impact, and how to prevent it. And this just goes into a little bit about what I've already mentioned about distributing materials, speaking engagements such as these. And we have prevention programs as well. So we focus on stopping sexual violence before it happens and reducing its immediate and long-term effects by working with youth, parents, teachers, and caregivers. Our programs include the PAC program, and that's Peer Advocacy Council. That's where we work with teenagers, grades 9 through 12. It is a year-round program, teaches healthy communication, healthy boundaries within relationships. Then we have the Let's Talk program. It's a leadership cohort for new Americans and refugees and prevention partnerships. So in the Let's Talk program, another amazing program where we're working with men ages 14 and up who are newly established to America. Education and awareness. We lead the Sexual Assault Awareness Month and Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month committees and work with other agency departments to ensure consistent branding and communication standards. So SAM is a really big one for us. And right now we've got several different events that we welcome the community and your organizations to also participate in to just spread that awareness. Awareness and education campaigns. We aim to spark meaningful conversations, challenge misconceptions, inspire action towards our collective mission. We currently accomplish this by chairing the Sexual Assault Awareness Month and Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month committees and working with agency and program departments to meet agency-wide branding communication standards. So again, teen dating violence awareness is a big one for us. TDVAM and Sexual Awareness Month, which is what we're working on right now. All right, and I will let my co-hosts take it away.
Thanks, Maribel.
Of course.
Okay, so why do you want to know about the Rape Recovery Center and the services we provide? We do know that there is that there is a difference between sexual assault versus domestic violence. Maribel did mention that we do provide services specifically for sexual assault survivors. So just want to dive into the difference between the two. Sexual assault and domestic violence may have the same commonalities, but they are different crimes. According to the Office of Women's Health under the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, sexual assault is any type of forced or coerced sexual contact or behavior that happens without consent. So that can include rape, attempted rape, sexual coercion, incest, fondling or unwanted touching above or under clothes, and any type of sexual contact with someone who can't consent. So that could include someone underage, has an intellectual disability, or is passed out. Domestic violence is a pattern of coercive, controlling behavior that can include physical, emotional, or psychological abuse. Next slide, Maribel. Okay, so we know that sexual assault survivors, the effects of their sexual assault can last a lifetime, and it can take them years to report their assault. Also, sexual assault survivors do not use the lethality assessment program, which is also known as the LAP, and that's a screening tool that's used to identify high-risk domestic violence victims. Sexual assault survivors experience complex trauma, and they navigate the legal system differently from domestic violence survivors. Also, sexual assault is a profound violation of a person's body, sexuality, and sense of self and safety. So it's not just a physical act, but it can also be verbal or visual. And that can include voyeurism or peeping. And that's when someone watches private sexual acts without consent. Exhibitionism is when someone exposes themselves in public. Sexual harassment or threats, or forcing someone to pose for sexual pictures. Next slide.
So the standards of care for Utah Rape Crisis Centers. The Utah Center of Care are crucial in establishing a foundation for high-quality services for survivors of sexual violence. So the Rape Recovery Center follows the 5 key standards of care that were developed by the Utah Coalition of Sexual Assault, so UCASA, in order to ensure that every sexual assault survivor in the state of Utah has access to a minimum level of consistent services. These standards are also used as a requirement for all rape crisis centers in Utah in order to receive continued or new funding. So the 5 key standards of care that all rape crisis centers should have are they should have a 24-hour crisis hotline, they should provide crisis intervention, they should accompaniment clients to hospitals, law enforcement offices, prosecutors' offices, and courts. They need to provide an advocacy criteria, and they need to provide a public education criteria. So by following these standards, the Rape Recovery Center is committed to providing individuals who have experienced sexual assault with advocacy and supportive services. And we provide those services through consistency, so survivors can expect the same level of care and support regardless of their individual circumstances or when they access services. We do that through accessibility. So this ensures that survivors are available and readily accessible to all survivors, regardless of their background, identity, or ability. It involves removing barriers like language, transportation, or cost, and through supportive services. So this goes beyond just offering services. It means providing services in a way that is trauma-informed, respectful, and empowering for survivors. It involves creating a safe and validating space for them to heal and move forward. Next slide.
Our advocate team works to identify sexual assault survivors' needs while exploring options to help their survivors meet their recovery goals. The advocacy department is also responsible for effectively managing specialized sexual assault services. So that can include advocacy, crisis intervention, short-term case management, and assistance in navigating the civil and criminal justice systems. Our department delivers direct services in both English and Spanish. We offer case management for CVR assistance, which is also the crime victims reparation assistance, therapy referrals, court and law enforcement accompaniment, and also U-Visa support, just to name a few. So some key points that you want to take away in regards to what our advocacy services provide. It happens promptly. It focuses on providing reassurance, empathy, and a safe space for our clients to express their feelings and concerns regarding what their next step is. So it's not a time for us to process with clients because we're not licensed clinicians. It's just a time to gather information, to do a quick needs assessment, and get them connected to specific resources or services that can help stabilize their situation. We also provide appropriate care and support for the client's current situation. And we, again, assess the needs and resources and ensure their safety and well-being in the short term. We're not meant to be long-term solutions, but rather a bridge to connect the clients to appropriate long-term support systems. We aim to provide crisis intervention, which is an immediate supportive response in order to reduce acute distress, to begin stabilization, and to assist in determining their next steps. We also offer short-term case management and referral services. Next.
At the Rape Recovery Center, we understand that the survivors of different traumatic experience have unique needs that require personalized attention. As a result, we strive to provide tailored support to each client, taking into account their specific circumstances and preferences. So some of the most frequent needs we encounter when working with survivors at the Rape Recovery Center include housing needs, so resources for shelter, rental/mortgage assistance, long-term housing, mental health services, medical assistance, financial assistance that is not covered by the CVR application, and then documents for undocumented survivors. And as service providers at the Rape Recovery Center, some of the challenges and barriers we come across when trying to connect sexual assault survivors to resources include survivors' access to services/resources due to location or residence, lack of transportation. Uninsured survivors find it difficult to find therapy resources and medical assistance, limited access available in surrounding communities, lack of funding, and the significant amount of time it takes to get survivors connected to services due to external resources high wait lists.
We often face challenges and barriers when trying to connect our clients to housing services. And we find that long-term housing resources available are insufficient and not meeting the needs of many of our unhoused clients. And a lot of times it's due to limited resources such as limited shelter beds and long wait lists for subsidized housing. Other challenges that we find when trying to connect our clients to housing services includes Band-Aid solutions that are given to our clients to their major housing issues, such as limited night hotel stays. So oftentimes our clients will be offered like 1 to 3 nights in a hotel. However, once those nights are up, they do have to return back to homelessness. There is a long wait list for housing subsidies, so they oftentimes have to wait for months at a time just to be considered for housing subsidy. And in most cases, a lot of times our clients are no longer available or in the area to be found. They have to be enrolled in certain programs within those agencies or meet certain criterias in order to receive services or be considered for it. Oftentimes, external resources, caseloads are at capacity and they're not accepting our referred clients, lack of affordable housing, and lack of funding.
So oftentimes it is difficult to get clients into therapy in Spanish and English if they are uninsured. Aside from sexual health needs and minor issues, other medical concerns that require specialists like medication management, eye care, dentistry, and prenatal care are difficult to find free or affordable resources for the client if the client is uninsured. And then again, some of the challenges we face for trying to find resources for mental health and medical for our clients are lack of resources or funding. External organizations have high caseloads, which makes it difficult for our clients to receive therapy. Clients do not meet the qualifications for therapy or medical assistance. And then again, just high wait times to get in for assistance.
So we often, oh, I'm sorry. As a rape recovery center, we recognize the challenges and understand the difficulties that our survivors face when trying to connect to resources. And so we've developed some internal solutions to address some of those barriers and challenges. One internal solution that we've developed and implemented is our emergency funds. So this is limited funding that our advocates can apply for on a survivor's behalf. The funds are used towards their financial distress as a last resort and should contribute to the survivor's long-term empowerment and safety. Some examples of how we've used our emergency funds, we've applied it towards our survivors' late rent or mortgage fees, co-pays for mental health and medical appointments, and obtaining important documents such as birth certificates or IDs. And these are just a few examples. There's been pretty much other examples that we've used our emergency funds towards, but these are pretty much the most that you'll see.
So another internal resource that the Rape Recovery Center offers is the Stay Safe pilot program. So this is our temporary hotel program that our mobile response team leadership is overseeing. The program provides an eligible client hotel stay for up to 3 nights maximum. It is only open within Salt Lake County. However, this hotel program can be used for clients outside of Salt Lake County. It will just need to be staffed with our MRT leadership before beginning the process. The hotel utilized for the Stay Safe program can be within a 50-mile radius of Salt Lake County. And to be considered for the program, the client will have to complete an intake with the advocacy department as long as fill out the MRT emergency shelter checklist with the advocate. Again, this program is our pilot program, so it is not temporary. So funding will run out, but if it is a success, then the Rape Recovery Center will apply for more funding towards the Stay Safe program.
So we offer on-site therapy and support groups as another internal solution. Our on-site therapy is for uninsured clients, and we do offer Connections Group, which is in English. That's offered on a weekly basis on Mondays from 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. And then our Spanish speaking group is our Grupo de Apoyo, and that's offered on a weekly basis as well, every Wednesday from 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. And then we also hold a group called Holding Space, which is our Healings Arts group, and that's held weekly every Wednesday from 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. and that's only in person. They do provide various forms of expression used to process and understand experiences in a supportive environment. And I'm sorry, I forgot to mention our Connections group and Grupo de Apoyo groups are virtual. And then for our Gentle Wintering Workshop, that's held weekly as well, every Monday from 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. And that's also held virtually. And they use different coping strategies such as mindfulness, writing, embodiment exercises to help group members explore and build connections with themselves and others.
And some requirements for our internal resources at the Rape Recovery Center are the survivor must be 14 years or older. They must be a primary or secondary survivor of sexual assault. They need to be a client at the Rape Recovery Center, and they will have to have had an intake completed with our advocacy department in order to receive our internal fundings and solutions.
So So in addition to our internal solutions, there are some resources that we've partnered with or who we often use to refer our survivors to. So for housing resources, we often use SAMI, Family Promise Salt Lake, Utah Community Action, the Road Home, which is shelter referrals mainly, South Valley Services, and Jewish Family Services. So they offer rental assistance to our clients, but that just depends on how much funding they have. The Utah Office of Victims of Crime, Survivor Driving Housing, Housing Connect, Utah Nonprofit Housing Corporation. And those are just some of the resources that we find that are often helpful in getting our clients connected to pretty quickly. And then with clothing resources, we do have the Rape Recovery Center clothing voucher, the Crossroads Urban Center clothing voucher as well. And then we recently partnered with Brighter Tomorrows program, and they also offer a $60 voucher per client that they can redeem at a local thrift store. And can't really remember the name of that thrift store, but I can put it in the chat once I get access to that. And then for food resources, we use local food pantries.
Resources we often use for mental health. So if a client comes to us and they have insurance, we usually use psychologicaltoday.com or any other insurance website to help the client find a therapist that takes their insurance. For uninsured clients, we use Campus Counseling, Family Counseling Center, the Multicultural Counseling Center, Sacred Circle Healthcare. For our Spanish-speaking clients, we refer them to Holy Cross Ministries, where they offer free Spanish-speaking therapy. We also use Valley Behavioral Health and South Valley Services. For medical, we also use UOVC, the CVR application for both mental health and medical. But for medical, we use 4th Street Clinic, Utah CHC, Planned Parenthood, Lahia Free Clinic, the Hope Clinic, the 72nd Free Clinic, and Utah Partners of Health.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you so much, Shantae and Moana, for going through that for everyone. How can you get involved? There are many different ways to be a partner with the Rape Recovery Center. You can volunteer your time. So the mobile response team is a volunteer advocate. You will play an essential role in the healing process for the survivors that we serve. There's also administrative and special projects. So volunteers are needed for very small projects, whether it's small tasks or ongoing office work. Ways to give and how far does that go? What do your dollars do for us? So for example, this is a quick synopsis here. So $25 provides a warm blanket for a survivor leaving the hospital. $50 covers an hour of hotline calls and crisis drop-in services. $100 provides an hour of prevention education for up to 30 youth. Again, our 50th anniversary Hope and Healing Gala will be happening April 12th. I know I talked a little bit about that at the beginning, and we just can't stress the fact that we're inviting all community partners, all organizations that are involved in this work that we do. It's just a fun way to get together, share stories, resources, and just get to know each other on a different level as well. And you can find more information on our website, coupon codes, anything concerning tickets. And then check out our community engagement program, see if any of that might work for your people, the people that you serve. So again, it's the PAC program, Peer Advocacy Council, geared to high schoolers, and then Let's Talk, geared to refugee men ages 14 and up. And we're always working on our outreach and partnership building. We're always trying to expand that network. You could also request a workshop via our website. Feel free to take a screenshot of that if you'd like. We're at raperecoverycenter.org. You could also follow us. Following us goes a long way. We're consistently talking about things going on within the community, new things that we're doing, and ways that we're supporting our survivors. So social media is a big one for us at Rape Recovery Center. And please make note that for anyone you're serving, our support groups are currently open. The Holding Space, Gentle Wintering, and our Connections groups, both Spanish and English. Okay. So we're opening the floor up to whether you're via virtual or you are in the building, what questions either of us can answer for anyone.
In the room?
I can hear you.
Okay. Was there any questions in the room? No. Okay, in the chat, are there age exceptions? For example, a victim that is 13 nearing 14. So
Yeah.
exceptions to age services, I think.
Yes, so ages 14 and up. And regardless of background, regardless of immigration status, nationality, age, 14 and up is who we serve, the ages that we serve.
Perfect.
For
Any-
anyone under the age, I'm sorry. For anyone under the age of 14, though, we do have external resources that we get them connected to. It's just very limited when it comes to minors and just trying to find those resources available because most are at full capacity but for a survivor that is age 13 nearing 14, sometimes we are able to make exceptions. It just depends on their needs and then also the type of services that they're needing to be connected to.
Any other questions? Yeah, just.
Yes, I have a question. In emergency funds, you said that one of the examples are obtaining important documentation such as a birth certificate or an ID. What do you mean with that? Yes, that you offer funds for the people request those documentations?
So that's typically for clients that we are serving that's enrolled in our program. So we do often come across undocumented survivors that are
Uh-huh.
of obtaining either a birth certificate, their IDs, but don't have the funds to do so. So we are able to tap into our emergency funds to help pay for those services if needed.
Okay, because some of the clients, because I work with a lot of undocumented people, and most of them has not the documentation here in the country. They have to request outside the country, in another countries, I'm sorry. So it's specifically for that kind of funds, the funds can be used for that kind of request?
So it's only used for survivors that are enrolled
Yes.
that we are providing services to.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, I just wonder if your groups that are both in English and Spanish, are they available to the entire state of Utah, or are they only available to people in in the Salt Lake area?
They're available to anybody in the state of Utah. They just have to be a client with us at the Rape Recovery Center, and then we can get them connected to start participating in our groups.
Any other questions? Thanks, Shannon. Okay, Don't see any in the chat. Thank you so much, Shante, Luana, and Maribel.
Yes.
Such great information. Thank you so much on rape recovery and some of the challenges that sexual assault survivors face.
Yes, of course. Thank you all for having us. And here's another opportunity for screenshot of office hours and our contact information.
Perfect. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your guys' time and for being here. Dawn, are you okay?